Assalamualaikum and hi, we are from Group 1 and we want to present the video cast of decision making on the movie of 12 Angry Men. Our group has 4 members which are Tamayanti anak perempuan Murugeswaran, for Kai Cheng, Nur Syafina binti Salihuddin and Nur Ain Nadira binti Abdul Hadi.
Synopsis: 12 Angry Men focuses on jury's deliberation in a capital murder case. A guilty verdict means an automatic death sentence. The jury is sent to begin deliberation in the first-degree murder trial of 18-year-old boy accused in the stabbing death of his father. 11 of the jurors immediately vote guilty. Only juror number 8, Mr. David, casts not guilty. The case appears to be open and shut. A knife is found at the murder scene. Witnesses either heard screaming, saw the killing, or the boy fleeing. Mr. Davis tried to convince the other jurors that not a guilty verdict might be appropriate. Largely, the movie emphasizes on 12 men, different characters that illustrate the importance of group decision-making and critical thinking. The movie of 12 Angry Men highlights some issues which is related to Chapter 6 perception and individual decision making on common bias and errors in decision making.
The first issue in the film 12 Angry Men that is related to decision-making bias is confirmation bias. The majority of the jury in the film 12 Angry Men had a confirmation bias toward the 18-year-old slum boy except the juror number 8. Juror number 10 had clearly demonstrated confirmation bias. For example, juror number 10 has a negative stereotype of all people who live in the slums. He said that they do not need a reasonable explanation to murder someone. They get drunk and then die in the gutter. The conviction completely convinced him that the child did in fact murder his father. He has this image of slum kids and interprets this information in a way that confirms his belief about teenager children.
The next issue are related to ensuring bias. In this movie, the ensuring bias shown by the juror 3. He mentions having a child the same age as the youngster who is suspected of murdering his father. He tells the other jurors that this youngster is probably just like his son. Previously, his son attacked him when he was 15 and he hasn't seen him in 3 years. The juror is biased due to personal issues with his own kid and developed biased ideas about the youngster based only on their same age. When making a decision or solving a problem, ensuring bias must be minimized to prevent generating inaccurate estimations because of concentrating on one piece of information. The last issues are related to availability bias. The situation from this movie that explains availability bias is when the juror 3 confidently accused juror 5 of switching his vote from guilty to not guilty after they makes a decision during the secret ballot. In response to Juror 10's statements about how the squatter area was a breeding ground for criminals, Juror 3 accused Juror 5 of switching his vote after seeing his quick expression of emotion. Due to the fact that the 5th jury had grown up in a squatter community, he was personally insulted when Juror 10 made judgments about persons who lived in a certain neighborhood. Availability bias led to low-quality information being used as the foundation for the decision making.
The recommendations.
The first step in reducing bias is acknowledge them. Identifying a bias can be accomplished by analyzing past decisions or completing specific tasks that illustrate how and why to think a certain way. In the film 12 Angry Men, the majority of jurors were biased by relying only at eyewitness testimony and suspicious stereotypes. As a juror, they should recognize and set aside their experience or prejudice in order to be fair and impartial juror in this case. Besides, seeking knowledge from the different source and person than the typical word is a one step toward avoiding bias, which can change your perspective on the word. In this film, 12 Angry Men, even before the discussion between all jury begins, 11 of the jurors are convinced that the boy is guilty, except for the number 8 jury. As a juror, they need to respect each other's opinion and value the different viewpoints each juror brings to this case. Lastly, taking time to make a decision helps us observe the difference between the emotion we had during the first information and what we felt when we reread it. In this film, 12 Angry Men, juror number 3 got biased due to his past experience. This strengthened his confidence in his decision to convince the boy. As a juror, the jury should not rush into a verdict and need to reconsider his decision because the boy deserves his complete attention and thoughtful deliberation.
As conclusion, the majority of the film Child Angry Man scenes revolve around group decision-making. The film Child Angry Man demonstrated that the group decision-making outperforms individual decision-making. So I think that's all for our group. Thank you.